So natural gas remains so important, yes, in terms of the energy transition, but also politically. So I wanted to go back, if I can, to you, Mr. Minister, Minister Siyarto. Did I unfairly pose a false choice between having as much natural gas coming, let's say, to Hungary as possible from all sources versus the European Union's desire to get away from one supplier, from Russian natural gas? Is it a false choice that I'm outlining?
Look, the current state of play of science does not allow us to rely on gas deliveries in backpacks and sports bags. Therefore, we still do need the pipelines as the delivery routes. Therefore, the pipelines do determine the delivery directions. And currently, if I look at the incoming capacities of the pipelines of natural gas to Hungary, I have to say that without the Russian gas, Hungary's safe supply cannot be guaranteed. And not because of politics or ideology, but because of mathematics. We have a certain demand annually, 9 to 10 BCM, depending on the annual circumstances. We can produce like 1.5 BCM maximum on our own. The rest, we do have to import. And putting into consideration the regional reality, without imports from Russia, currently, physically and mathematically, it's not possible to supply our country. It would be possible to reduce the share of Russian imports in our national energy mix in case we would be able to deliver more gas from Azerbaijan, from Qatar and from Turkey. This year is the first year, an important milestone. This year is the first year ever that we bought gas physically from SOCAR. This year is the first year ever that we bought gas physically from Turkey. We became the first non-neighboring country for Turkey who imports Turkish gas. And we have ongoing negotiations with Qatar that from 2027, as they have new sources, let's put it this way, or some release contracts, or contracts expiring, we would be able to include Qatari gas into our energy system as well. The problem is in between Hungary and these countries, not politically, but geographically. Because the pipeline network in the Southeast European region, through Turkey, Bulgaria, Romania, Serbia, simply cannot deliver more gas than the current situation. Simply, mathematically. So we would need a couple billions of cubic meters of extra capacity in order to make it possible for the countries of Central Europe, including Slovakia, Hungary, Serbia, Romania, to increase the gas from this region in our national energy mix. Now, therefore, we have a program so-called Solidarity Ring, including these countries. Azerbaijan is supporter of this strategy, obviously, because Azerbaijani gas would be partly filling this strategy. But the problem is that it's a multiple hundreds of millions of euro investment, which the countries impacted cannot manage on their own. And not to speak about the fact that this is a European issue. Why? Because we are under constant political pressure to decrease the share of Russian gas in our national energy mix. Now my question is the following. This is not a political issue, because with political statements you cannot deliver gas. You can only deliver gas in a pipeline network. So please then help to increase the capacity. So on one hand we have the political pressure. On the other hand, we are faced with rejection when it comes to, increasing the capacity. So then what to do? And my responsibility as a member of the government who is responsible for the international energy cooperation is to make sure that at the end of the day, the Hungarian people can heat their houses and flats, can ensure hot water, and the factories have enough gas. And since there are not enough press conferences with which I can, produce gas, therefore I need it realistically. And then what to do? Continue the ongoing cooperation. And I have to tell you, And it's not a political statement again. This is a reality that I've been dealing with this issue for 10 years now as being foreign minister for the 10th year. I don't remember any occasion when we would have been let down by the Russian suppliers. So then my question is why I should cut the relationship? Out of politics? Why? Out of physics? It's impossible. So, you know, we are there where we started. So let's come back to common sense and reality. And I understand that currently it's very complicated to get rid of this approach because there's war in Ukraine. Europe is faced with tremendous challenges, politically, economically, energy, security, everything. But at least the issue of energy supply should be liberated from this ideological and political approach.